Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. I have just witnessed Nottingham Forest 1, Derby County 0 in the East Midlands derby, the Brian Clough Trophy. Forest do it again. I went to both these games last season. They were both very tight, they were both very tetchy, and this one was no different. Forest get the win. The game settled by a second half goal by Lewis Grabban following a big mistake by Christian Bielik of Derby. It was going to be, at half-time we realised, one goal in it, and it was probably going to be a set play or a mistake, and that is how it turned out to be. Derby, though, missed a few chances. Forest defending well, and they get the victory. Here are the two teams. Forest, this is the first time I've seen Sabri Lamoushi's Forest, so I can now put some of the ideas that I already had about them to an actual picture of a game. It was Samba in goal, who on first viewing is a very good goalie. Cash right back, Figueiredo and Worrell are the centre half, so Dawson not about, and I suspect the plan long term is not to have Cash right back, but he seems to have made that place his. Ribeiro is left back. Call me old school, but a left back wearing number 2 is a struggle for me. Watson is going to sit in front of the back 4 and not budge. Lolly playing down the right, we know he'll come in on his left foot though. Amiobi down the left, we don't really know what he's ever going to do. Very unpredictable player. Silva is supposedly the creative force in the Forest midfield, but from what I saw, this is all about team shape and the combination of the 4 rather than feeding any one player. Yates comes into the team, and that looked very clearly from a physicality standpoint to look after the midfield and to look after Silva. Grabban plays up top on his own at this level. He's a big boy and he can look after himself. Derby, it's a 4-2-3-1. Roosing goal. Bogle, Davies, Clark and Lowe is back 4. Bielik and Shinnie are the 2 sitting in front. That's how the game starts. This is going to change after about a quarter of an hour. And from what I could see, Holmes to the right, Lawrence to the left. And it starts with Martin in behind Marriott. In the second half, that switches over. At times, it looked like a 4-2-2-2 Brazil 82 midfield square. Doesn't look like they've solved the team shape balance issues that I think they've had at Derby for a lot of the season, let's just say. So game starts. Lolly immediately fed through, can't sort his feet out in the box. Silva hits a long ranger, but good chance and a good save straight away for Derby on 4 minutes. Bogle gets forward. The midfield is clear straight away. The centre midfield is, you know, very, very stodgy. You've got a double pivot for Derby. You've got a sitter for Forest. And you could see straight away that it was going to be people like Bogle down the Derby right and Cash down the Forest right. That was where the space was going to be. Bogle comes forward into Martin. Whatever you say about Chris Martin, he's always been good back to goal, laying it off, playing it around the corner, playing people in. He lays it off with the outside of his foot. Lawrence onto it as he should be coming in from the left-hand side on that right foot. I think it takes a deflection on the way through. He's about 10 yards out, and Samba makes the first of a few good saves. Strangely, Samba has the air of a keeper that makes good saves but doesn't ever look in trouble. Very good signing by the looks of it there. Amiobi, long ranger, wide. Bogle again on 6 is forward down the right, finds Martin. Same combination off to Shinnie, who as a deep line midfielder seems to, when he gets anywhere near the goal, want to get a shot off, and he hits it low, left-footed. Samba saves again. So a couple of moments for Derby in the opening 10, and Forest are going to come into it a bit more. Now Lolly with the corner in low, half cleared. It's Watson following up. He gets blocked out with the left foot from the edge of the box. Lolly and Cash then combine on 12. Great cross from Cash here. This is what you get with a more forward-thinking fullback in those high positions. Can put quality over. Nobody there. And I wrote down on 12 minutes, Forest on top, but Derby with the chances. We've seen a lot of games like that. Forest look very compact, 15-20 metres from front to back, hard to play through, attack as a team, defend as a team, strong team shape was my first reading of a Sabri Lamouchi team. Matt Clark was holding his knee a couple of minutes before he goes off on 14, so presumably some knee problem, tries to play on. This is the beauty of having Christian Bielik in your team. He moves from central midfield into central defence, and George Evans is going to sit alongside Shinnie in midfield. We'll see how Clark is, hopefully not too serious from his point of view. Silva with a free kick goes over the top. It's a bit bitty, it's a bit scrappy. We're starting to get Richard Keogh and Tom Lawrence chance a lot. Bit kind of narky and not the most flowing spectacle, let's just say. Let me know in the comments as well whether you think, with it being such a serious issue, we know fans will pick up on anything that we need to bother with chanting about drink driving and things of that nature, but fans will be fans, won't they? Yates, another foul. He's had a warning. The ref is trying to keep a grip on this, and Cash and Lawrence really back and forth, niggling. Good luck, ref, is all I'm thinking at this point. If no quality transpires, you know this is just going to be a fight, and he's got to keep control of it. Big one up to Amiobi, holds off his man Grabban, 20-yard over. We get a chance now for Forest, really first decent one of the game. I say decent, it's a difficult one. It's worked from right to left. Amiobi steps inside, beats his man, right-footed to the near post. This is the beauty of Amiobi in that Roosing goal for Derby. Probably has no clue where he's going to try and put this shot, and it's fired at him. Decent save on the near post by Roos. Bogle jumps in on Silva. Oh, it's Tetchy, isn't it? Yellow card for Bogle. Then Watson is about the 5th player to have a pop at Lawrence. He gets a yellow card. Forest, clearly, probably not the instructions from the sideline, but certainly on the pitch there, they're trying to disrupt Lawrence, who probably mentally is all over the place, given what's gone on and what's going on today. Lawrence and Holmes combine here, left-hand side. Good cross in. Ends with Marriott here. He curls one low. Left-footed Samba, just soft hands round the post. So impressed with him today. So calm, well-positioned. No fuss with anything. Good save. First involvement for Marriott. I said this so many times when I've watched Derby. Marriott's got to play off the shoulder or up with somebody. Seemed to struggle. Am I playing number 10? Am I playing number 9? Am I interchanging with Martin? Didn't really get into the game early on. I think he would prefer a real number 10 behind him, but Kieran Dowell not being used by Philip Koku. Silva with a corner. Figueiredo flicks that one on the near post. Worrell comes careering in, but can't quite get on that on the back post. 40. Marriott to Lawrence to Shinnie. Good crossing position here. Again, I mentioned about Shinnie when he does get forward. He wants to put shots on goal. He shoots from the angle. Go figure. Samba saves it. He saves everything, doesn't he? 43 though. Bit more flow as the half ends. We're going end to end. Amiobi, this is good quality from him. Left corner of the box. It's a really, really good strike with the left foot. Swerving. Roos does well with that. We get to half time. Tight. Tetchy. Forest look very well structured. I don't see too much in the way of flow in passing. I see good structured attacks, maybe with overlaps, with Lolly coming in, Cash overlapping, Grabban joining in. So Derby create the better chances, but I thought in terms of territory and control, Forest had more of the half. Basically, very, very even. If you go on XG, Derby are edging it. If you go on kind of territory, heat maps and possession, Forest are probably edging it. So basically, that's 3 different ways of saying there's nothing in it at half-time. Very tight, like both of these games I saw last season. Forest come out the better side, though, 48. Brilliant bit of skill by Thiago Silva. Love that. flips his foot one way, then drags it back the other way, completely mugs Holmes off. They force a couple of corners as well, just to get a bit of momentum. Martin now seems to be furthest forward, with Marriott behind now. Not too sure, and this is a bit of a theme of not joined up attack from Derby in this game. Doesn't ever feel like a 4-4-2 though, because the wide guys are too narrow. Doesn't feel like a 4-2-3-1. Maybe it was hard for Forest to figure it out, but maybe this is Derby trying to figure their way into spaces around a very well structured Forest team shape. Amiobi in off the left. He blasts the 30-yarder over for a goal kick. And you think, oh, Sammy, what have you done? You've given possession away. But here comes the goal. And in such a tight game, as I said at the top of the video, it's going to be a mistake, a set play or a piece of brilliance with, there not being that many chances created. And sadly for Christian Bielik, who I thought looked pretty in control in the centre-half position. He has a bit of a nightmare here because the ball's played out to him. He's on the right-hand side, facing back across, and he just completely misjudges either the speed of the ball coming to him or takes his eye off it, something of that nature. It's a technical mistake. He completely overhits it. Grabban obviously is lurking. The centre halves are split, so there's a huge hole for him. Grabban, well, he does what we would expect him to. He quickly gets control of it, quickly turns. Obviously, Roos is a bit in no man's land. He can't try and take control of this situation. Grabban can, stands him up, slides it in the corner. 1-0 Forest, 56 minutes. Oh, Bielik, dearie me, it was going to be that type of goal, wasn't it? But Forest, when they get the chance, take the chance, when the narrative in this game that maybe Derby do not. 61 on we go. Forest, well, actually not Forest. Derby look rattled by this now. They shrink an inch, don't they, and move a little bit further back. Forest are on top here now. Derby second guessing themselves playing out. Grabban, nice work here, left hand side. Amiobi, edge of the box. Another erratic finish by Sammy. Silver in the 10 position here. He tries to chip it over the top, head back to him. He hits it, I think, with the left foot, and Roos is behind it. Lawrence has a corner for Derby, cleared to Bogle, controls half volleys. Over on 66, another chance for Forest here. They're down the right, crossed low in. Amiobi takes an ace. Please don't think I'm in any way being critical of Amiobi. I'm just playing into his unpredictable nature, let's just say. He tries to get it under control. Is he going to go right? Is he going to go left? He probably doesn't know. He goes right in the end. His shot's blocked. But you now have the sight of Joe Lolly coming in on the angle, on the left foot. Exactly the guy that you would want and exactly the position. His shot gets blocked and spins back. Roos completely wrong-footed. It flies by the post. There's no corner. So I'm guessing that must have hit his own man, and I'm guessing it was probably Lewis Grabban, given he would have been the furthest forward. Comment if my guesswork is wrong there, but probably the best chance actually created in open play in the game by Forest, for Forest, given that their goal came from a mistake. There's a yellow card, I think. Took my eye off this one. It was Grabban standing on a free kick. He waves the yellow card at Silver and Grabban there. Forest players, oh my God. This was one of those moments of heart in mouth, because Lawrence rides one tackle and the next one flies. They're lining up to, I'm not saying they're doing a number on him, but they want to go in hard on Lawrence here because they know they're in his head. From half time, Lawrence mentally, he gives the ball away a couple of times. It looks like emotionally he's gone now. Mentally he's lost that sharp focus. Two tackles go in, and then Ribeiro slides in and Lawrence is late on him. I don't know whether there's a serious foul play, violent conduct thing. I'm up in the stand, but I have to say the targeting of Lawrence does work, and that is from the fans and on the pitch. Really, he looked like he wasn't all there in the second half. I'm an Ipswich fan. I saw Tom Lawrence at his best at Ipswich, and I know what a good player he can be. And I think he needs his international break, let's just say, after this one today. Carvalho comes on for Ami, Obi. He goes down the left. They did fool me. They did switch him and Lolly, but then they switched back. So I'm going to say Carvalho plays down the left. And here I have a problem with this now, because Patterson comes on for Holmes for Derby, and I think they go 4-3-3. There's not much structure in the attack between Marriott and Martin for most of the game. And now you remove Holmes from that. Patterson seems to be playing in a midfield three. And you've got Lawrence holding the left, but the other two flitting about. I think when you're playing against a structured team like Forest are, if you throw your own structure out of the window, you're looking for a bit of brilliance and or a bit of chaos. And I thought after this substitution, Holmes is a good ball carrier. I know Patterson is too, but I just don't see how Marriott fits in there if he's not the main guy up front, let's just say. Patterson though straight into the play down the right hand side. I think it's Marriott who shoots from the angle. Samba behind it, strong, good goalkeeper. Lawrence to Martin, to Lawrence, deep cross here. Bogle is up on the back post, he nods it back. It's Marriott on the volley, swinging back, he scuffs it, and Samba down to make the save. Good contact on that one's in the corner. Chances wise, haven't looked at the XG. I know the Forest goal will come up very high, but Derby created enough chances to score a goal in this game. As I mentioned, seems to be a 4-3-3 for Derby. I'm sitting there trying to figure out the structure to their attack. There doesn't seem to be a lot. It seems to be everyone get forward, just someone get a goal, and Shinnie sitting on his own as the entire midfield. No, that's not necessarily fair to say. Evans was there next to him, and Waghorn comes in for Shinnie. So there you go. Now you do get your one-man Derby defensive midfield line. They're still trying Derby, cross all the way over from low. He puts it in on the ground. Marriott's in the middle of the goal, opens up for him, hits it right foot. He's got to find the other corner, but it's a good block from Worrell. Nottingham Forest are a good defensive team, structure-wise, shape-wise, and just in terms of interceptions. Neil Warnock says, head it, kick it, tell your keeper, save it. They're a good defensive team, Nottingham Forest. They were under Karanka, I have to say, but look a little bit more active in their defending rather than pragmatic as they were under Karanka, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Adoma comes in for Lolly. Just some fresh legs from a defensive point of view with 5 minutes to go. Here come Derby again. It's another chance for the Rams. Low crosses. Waghorn, it looked like Waghorn had been told, take a midfield position, but every time we attack, just get in the box and then try and get back to defend. That seemed to be his instructions. He does really well. He gets to the back post. Perfect header back, and the same thing. Marriott scuffed his volley when Bogle headed it back a few minutes before. Martin miskicks his volley, loses the technique there. Another chance for Derby. Waghorn gets in the box again on 88, deep cross. His header is charged down. They got stuff in the way. They got clearances, interceptions in. Through it goes. David Johnson's son comes on for Thiago Silva, which made me feel very old. As a teenager, I watched David Johnson play for Ipswich, so to see his son be born, come through and become a pro footballer, and now I'm seeing him play for the first time, was slightly weird reflection of my own mortality here in the stadium there. Adoma gets a yellow for kicking it away, and Forest are pretty comfortable for the 4 minutes of stoppage time. So you can see the narrative here is that in terms of being a well-practiced team, Forest are better than Derby. Their team shape is good. Their instructions seem to be simple and clearly followed. They've got some quality. Do you know what? They're a bit like Sheffield Wednesday, actually, in that you have Bannon and Reach and what have you. Forest have got some quality. Lolly's got quality on the left foot. Thiago Silva's got quality, and we know Grabban has as well. The rest of it is very sturdy and very well drilled, to be honest, for a guy who's only been here since probably June or something. Fact check that date. I know he came in the close season for Martin O'Neill. I thought they were good. I thought the goalie is excellent. I think Cash gives some good quality from right back going forward. otherwise, they're just very sturdy. Would be nice to see them try and play through Silva and make him a bit more of a, one of these magical playmaker type guys. But it's all about that line of four and everything being nicely structured and the distance from front to back and being solid. And they're going to be hard to beat, especially back here at the City Ground. So well played, Forest. Derby, well, they'll think they should have got something out of it, won't they? Lawrence, chance. Marriott, the one that Worrell blocked. Martin missing his kick at the end there. They'll think they did make enough chances to get something out of this. But I think you're going to have to be quite good to score against Forest this season, it looks like. And Samba, the keeper for Forest, is clearly excellent. I thought Koku should have taken Lawrence off after half-time at some point, just to maybe protect him and just get him out of a not nice situation for him. By the way, before anyone comments, that doesn't mean I in any way condone what happens off the pitch. I'm just talking about a game of football today. I don't want to get into debates about drink driving. We all know it's wrong, but this is not the time I'm going to talk about this. If you want to see my views on that, I have done a video about Keogh, Lawrence and Bennett, so we will park that right there, right now. Go and comment on that one rather than bring that into this one. Otherwise, I was a bit disappointed with Koku in terms of the substitutions and the attacking pattern of play in the second half. But I suppose if you're a Derby fan, you can argue back, well, we did still create the chances. It just felt a bit disjointed and there's a bit of a lack of plan where you could go again and build up a head of steam. So interested to see how Koku goes on and resolves this. You still have Lawrence, Holmes, Martin, Marriott. You have Waghorn as well in the background and Kieran Dowell. I don't think he's found the right combination yet in the top end of the pitch yet. I haven't looked at the league table. It's 3:05, so it's probably all going to change. But I think Forest were 5th and not far off the top. So could be a good time for Forest going into this international break. And they do have a game in hand as well, don't they, given that postponement against Reading. So that's about the size of it today. Get your comments in. Very tight. Forest well practiced, and I think they win this game today because of team shape, simple instructions, and having a more coherent, clear game plan for 90 minutes, whereas Derby may have forced a couple of better chances. So I think the upside's quite good for Forest this season. I don't expect, having seen this, I don't expect many 4-0s or 5-0s or anything like that. But I also don't expect many teams to come here, especially at the City Ground, and be racking up two and three goals. Put it that way. They look very, very solid and very, very sturdy. Let me know what you think in the comments. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. And if you want to support a guy, I have a full-time job. I do this part-time. I'd love to do this full-time. So I set up a Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. So from the City Ground here, Forest get the win. They have the hold over Derby at the moment. I'll probably be at Pride Park for the return. So we'll see how that goes in the future. It was Forest 1, Derby 0. Thank you for watching. Over and out.